Today, Governor Soludo, the executive governor of Anambra State, gave out 140,000 seedlings to Ndi Anambra. Like it's a more of encouraging them to go back into the farming and yes, create productivity, create foodstuff for themselves as a great people, as a great nation. The event was hosted today at the Achebe Stadium, where he spoke a lot. On his way out, he passed through Ochanja Market, where he was greeting. But what I really don't understand is, why is it that always whenever he has event like this, all his aides are always dressed with the Abga polo, which is maybe the Abga dress, which is like his party? Is it a way of campaigning? I don't know. Anyway, here's the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts below.
Thank you. Anambra bueno. Anambra bueno. Anambra bueno. Bueno. Kachano. Ndi we. Okum dinane. Ndi we kenemono. The Deputy Governor of Anambra State, the Commissioners, representative of the Honorable Minister, I won't start repeating all the protocol. Let me simply say that all the other protocols duly observed, but not without recognizing the Deputy Speaker representing the Speaker and the National Chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a big day. It's a big day in Anambra. It's a big day in Nigeria. We are here once again to continue to make history. We are celebrating the revolution, and we are here to signpost again one of the silver bullets that we have crafted to be able to drive a society towards almost zero poverty, sustainable empowerment, a new industrial ecosystem, wealth creation, and yes, no one behind. And having an environment that will be sustainable. We have come to officially launch an so we have to be very economical. 70% of our land is urbanized, but we must exploit every inch of our land that is available to mainstream the revolution. Our vision to have a livable and prosperous homeland, a smart mega city, a land driven by industrialization, technology, innovation, logistics, we are laying the foundation for. So far, with the 5 pillars of our development, terms of security, law and order, the other one is infrastructure and economic transformation, human capital and social agenda, yes, governance, rule of law, and the environment. For Anambra, our environment is our #1 existential threat. And we must do everything, especially in the light of the climate change, to recover our land. Because we need every inch of the land and make this place the greenest state in Africa. That is our mission. Our mission is to make Anambra the greenest state in Africa. Yes, on all the 5 pillars we are making progress. As the compare has tried to say, be it in the area of security, law and order, now I understand traders from all over the country have started coming back to Onitsha again because the touts are aware. The touts are living up in Wike. They are letting our traders to trade again, and we will continue until we rid this state of touts and miscreants and criminals and kidnappers and so on. Yes, on infrastructure, we're doing now almost now close to 500 kilometers of road. We've completed almost about 300 kilometers in 2 years. House, Governor's Lodge, amphitheater, banquet hall, and so on and so forth. That Anambra State will have a home. Yes, so yes, take the seat. When you take the seat, okay. How you say? Yes, on our agenda for human capital, we are laying the foundation because that is our greatest asset. Be it in the area of health, education, we want to have universal access to health and education for our people. Our human capital agenda will have free basic education in all public schools has led to about 18.7% increase in the enrollment in public schools. And this has now led to Anambra having the lowest out of school children in Nigeria. Now the lowest out of school children in Nigeria. We are building a new technology hub, our own Silicon Valley. Yes, these are the new entrepreneurs out of our 5,000 youths that have been trained with various skills and empowered with startup capital. Another 8,500 undergoing similar training, and we will be empowering them this year. Now, tens of thousands of youth are receiving some digital skill training and so on. On governance and rule of law, yes, we are digitizing our processes. Anambra is now rated to be #1 in terms of fiscal transparency and so on. We are doing more with less. And without borrowing, in over 2 years, Anambra is number 5 in the country in terms of fiscal sustainability. Our environment, where on all fronts, all our urban areas, urban regeneration is going on simultaneously everywhere. Erosion control, waste management, desilting, urban market, and community planning ongoing simultaneously. And don't forget that our water schemes now going on simultaneously all over the state. If you go to Oboko, is there anyone from Oboko here? Is there anyone from Oboko? Is there anyone from Oboko here? It's no longer Oboko, it's now New Heaven. It's now New Heaven.
Did you just start?
Where the biggest urban slum has been transformed with about 12 kilometers already completed out of the 15 kilometers. Internal roads of the biggest slum with street lights, with pipe-borne water, and now for the first time in their history, with over 500,000 people living there, they now have a functional general hospital. And I'm going to be commissioning that very soon. Anambra is on the rise. Anambra is on the rise. But like I said, what we have come here to do, Ndi Anambra on Egepante. If I be to do today, we send the message that part of our past, part of our future lies in our past. Today, we celebrate our founding fathers who helped to create the first prosperity in the first republic. Dr. Obara with the palm revolution in the eastern region. We celebrate Chief Obafemi Awolowo with the cocoa revolution in the western region. And yes, Ahmadu Bello with the granite pyramids in the northern region. We must exploit, learn from our past to build sustainable prosperity. We must empower people sustainably. Malaysia was built largely on the back of palm plantation, palm revolution. China reduced poverty significantly on the back of agro-allied industrialization. Yes, southeastern Nigeria was the fastest growing sub-region of the world in the late 50s and early 60s on the basis of the palm revolution. Today, we've thought through that one of the silver bullets we must reinventing our past, is for us to enlarge the big tent by empowering over 1 million households over a period of time by planting at least 10 million seedlings, economic trees, palm oil palm seedlings, coconut seedlings, okwa. You know, okwa is disappearing. Okwa may disappear. We will plant hundreds of thousands of new okwa trees in Anambra. Aquilo will be back. bitter cola, pawpaw, soursop, and so on and so forth. Our agenda is to empower people sustainably, fish for life, so that they will not be hungry anymore. We are creating a new industrial ecosystem for life, and we will be creating the greenest and most environmentally sustainable ecosystem in Anambra. With the new seedlings, we have already distributed 1.1 million seedlings between 2022 and last year. Yes, this year and today we are officially launching the distribution of another 1,040,000 seedlings for this year. 700,000 palm seedlings, 200,000 okra. That's a major delicacy in this part of the world, but it's become extremely very expensive. It's only served into VVIPs in major functions, but we want to bring it back for it to become a staple of everybody again. 50,000 Otti Igbo cola nut, 50,000 Agrilu, that's bitter cola, 40,000 pawpaw. All these seedlings are currently being distributed in the 326 wards in Anambra through our kindred system down to the families and down to those who need it the most. So by the end of this year, we would have distributed at least 2.2 million seedlings. We would have distributed so far 2.2 million seedlings, remaining about 7.8 more before we reach the 10 million. So with this, a poor household that gets about 10 seedlings, just 10 seedlings, for a poor household, that household will be permanently out of poverty for life. Yeah, that is the rain of blessing. This is the planting season, and with this, it will nurture these seedlings to grow. Let us savor the blessings.
Think of our umbrellas. We need to get a big one.
Thank you. Is the rain of blessing, and this is quite a blessing that today, as we officially launch the distribution of the 1,040,000 seedlings, we are being blessed with rain that will help to nurture all of these things to maturity. of this year, by the time we finish the distribution, between this month and the end of the month, the distribution is also ongoing already. Everywhere around the state, we would have been able to empower at least 200,000 households. These 200,000 households in all our wards will, at maturity, within the next 3-4 years, when these seedlings are nurtured and they start fruiting, these 200,000 households will be permanently out of poverty. What it means is that a petty trader, a vulcanizer, the hawker in the street, the wheelbarrow or truck pusher, or even the peasant farmer, the one that earns the minimum wage, if you get 10 of these seedlings and nurture them for the next 3-4 years, that family, that poor farmer, that hawker, that petty trader will be permanently out of poverty for life. This is what today's event is all about. A new industrial ecosystem is emerging. And this is where several industries, I spoke to one of them who has his new industry around Amanse. And he told me on weekly basis, he brings in palm kernel from distant places in this country, worth over $500 million as input into his factory. And in the next 3 years, he would not have to leave the borders of Anambra. All that is required for that factory and many other factories that will emerge will all be harvested from Anambra, with hundreds of thousands of Ndi Anambra permanently out of poverty. And with this agro-allied revolution, other thousands of jobs, industrial jobs, will emerge, and oil palm industrial ecosystem will emerge. My Anambra State will become the new center for coconut, for oil palm, for breadfruit, ukwa, for bitter cola, for pawpaw, for soya sop, and all the other economic trees which we are deliberately distributing around the state to empower our people permanently. Where do we go from here? Where we go from here, the Anambra, is that at the end of this year, we have distributed 2.2 million. Next year, we will distribute at least another 1 million. The year after, we will distribute at least another million. We will keep doing at least 1 million seedlings every year until we get down to the 10 million. We are going to mainstream tree planting as a new culture and a habit in Anambra State. The Anambra is every person resident in Anambra plants one seedling, plants a tree. Over a period of time, Anambra will begin to earn carbon credit from the green economy. Our green economy is real. We are approaching it in a very methodical manner, where individuals, households are going to take ownership. The next is that we are going to encourage educational institutions. We encourage the universities, public and private. We'll encourage all the secondary schools, polytechnics, primary schools, the churches, all for them to turn their respective environments to become green. Plant something. Plant a tree. It will help with our environment, with our ecology. We have porous, sandy soil. And planting millions of trees will help to keep our soil from the degradation of erosion. And therefore, all our schools, secondary, university, polytechnic, all, we're going to encourage you to please fill up every idle space with an economic trade. And before long, everybody else will be coming to Anambra to shop for some of these commodities. We're also encouraging communities, the President Generals, all of you, any community that is ready, if you have your land ready for planting, if you have land that you have made ready for plantation, let us know. We will help you with some seedlings so that communities themselves will also begin to have their own plantations. You see, this is a revolution in multiple dimensions. It's not just about creating a green economy, a green state that is environmentally sustainable, that lifts hundreds of thousands of households out of poverty for life. We're also helping the various institutions, the communities, the schools, the churches to build foundations for their own sustainable income in the future. That it will empower them permanently and add to their fiscal sustainability. If we have to conclude, Ndi Anambra na n'ife na-ekwu o nwere onye ji seedlings ebe a. Ọ bụrụ na iji seedlings, kedu ndị ji enu, onwe ndị ji ewelie enu ka ife ya. Kedu ndị nwete ọrụ ndị nwetagoro seedlings, ha welie enu. Kedu ndị nwetara ya? Okay. Ndị nweta seedlings ebe a today. Today's event is symbolic. The seedlings are being distributed at the ward level, at the kindred level. They are going down to all the villages in Anambra. What you have here today, the few thousands that you have just scrambled for, they are not part of the 1,040,000. The 1,040,000 are being distributed in the villages, in the wards, in the kindreds, in the families, and most households are going to get to them. What we have here are just the sample for you to have a feel, and so you can take the campaign back to the villages, back to your schools, back to the churches, back to everywhere, all parts of Anambra, that a new revolution, albeit a silent revolution, is on. A silent revolution is on. Today, as we have formally launched the ongoing distribution of 1,040,000 seedlings across the length and breadth of this country, we are indeed creating a new future for Anambra, which will be part of the 10 million economic race revolution that we have already initiated. 2.2 million already done. I can see that future in the Anambra, which will endure many, many decades after we have left office. As I move around the former eastern region, you will still see the palm plantation. If you go to the Mariam, you will still see the palm plantation. We are actually getting some palm wine from Mariam, and that's from the palm plantation of the Dr. Abia era, planted in the 50s and early 60s. Today, the silent revolution in Anambra has begun a process where in years to come, in decades to come, many years after we would have left office, in the various families, in the various villages, in the various schools, in the various churches, this coconut grown to maturity. The palm grown to maturity. Okra, a breadfruit, grown to maturity. The soursop, grown to maturity. Udala. We are going to be distributing Udala very soon. In the next year's fund, you are going to get Udala, the sweet Udala, and will also be distributed. All the rare and disappearing economic traits, we are reinventing them here in Anambra, and we will be getting them so that the people take ownership. They plant them, they nurture them, and once they start fruiting, that family will be out of poverty for life. I say that you will remember today when we officially launched this revolution. It's gone on for 2 years now, but we only decided to have a formal launch today. In the ones planted 2 years ago, I have seen photos all across the state, some of them growing very fast, and hopefully, maybe in the next year or two, they will start fruiting. This one, too, sooner or later, will get into maturity. This, what you plant today, will be for your children, and for your grandchildren, and even for your great-grandchildren. This is sustainable empowerment. We are not just giving people fish for one day, we are giving people the tools, the enablement to actually have fish 24/7 all year round. This is what this silent revolution is all about. Hundreds of thousands will be out of poverty, and our industrialization will accelerate. Our environment will change forever with a healthier and happier citizenry. With a healthier and happier citizenry. Ndi Anambra na-ekulu edendo. The air quality will improve. But the air quality will do what? Will improve. And poverty in Anambra, because when we distribute these seedlings, our priority is the vulnerable, the poorest of the poor, that roadside hawker, that roadside petty trader, that woman that has nothing, the widow who needs a push. All our society, those with some fiscal impairment, who are fiscally challenged. When you go down to the communities, when you distribute the palm in your various communities, please give preferences to these people who are the most vulnerable. I remember last year when these were distributed, Several people were calling me, even people who are resident in Lagos and in Abuja, and they were telling me that they got their own share from their kindred and they reserved their own for them. And I was telling them, no. This is not meant for those of you who are there. They no, we need it. We want to plant it also. I don't know when I will retire. So when I retire, I go back to my own farm or my own coconut, as the case may be. This is a revolution for everybody. For Nigwe, and I'm hoping, Commissioner, that you have also made some available to Nigwe. You have made available to Nigwe. And I don't know how much you made available to them. But please, make sure you look after Nigwe very well. Those of them who have the farmland to plant. Those who have the farmland to plant. Even for those of you who are living in Fegge here in Onitsha. I was moving along Zig Avenue here and some streets here in Fegge. And I noticed the palm, the coconut palm growing and some palm growing in the yards and so on and so forth. Please, every free space that you can find, plant something there. If it is not economic tree, plant any other tree. We want to make tree planting, particularly economic trees, to become a new normal, the new culture in Anambra State. And that's the only way we will be able to achieve our long-term objective of building the greenest state in Africa. That's our goal, and a society with near zero poverty and an industrial ecosystem that runs around our primary commodities in the first instance. Ultimately, of course, Anambra is the home of car manufacturing. We have launched our new industrial city. Our pharmaceutical industries are going to blossom. Agro-allied industries are going to blossom. The chemical industries, the automotive industrial park, all this will blossom. But before we get there, we want in the short to medium term to have this ecosystem around these crops that will create a new society where we leave no one behind. This is our goal. It is the goal of our political party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance. Ours, as a progressive party, we care for the poor, and we want not just to give them fish, but to take them out of poverty for life. And I am quite happy that the national chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Barrister Sly Ezokemwa, is here to witness it live. That we are living through to the ethos, to the principle, to the manifesto of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. I want to thank you, Ndi Anambra. I can see you are wearing those t-shirts, carrying the campaign back to the villages, take the campaigns down to the markets, take the campaigns down to the schools, take the campaigns down to the churches. Let everybody plant at least a tree a year. And in the villages, I can say Dr. Zewuzie is there. All ability in your communities, make sure that they get their own fair share. And then Zewuzie will be happy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can you